What's up, everyone? This is the Next Day Podcast, episode 83 with Mikel, and
And Tanyka.
where we have conversations on different topics. So, we have a three-topic episode.
Mhm.
Um, Tanika, would you like to confirm the three topics of this episode of the Next Day Podcast?
Sure. So we're going to be talking about lead apparently found in Ninja air fryers. So just one more thing that has an issue with Ninja air fryers. Um, we're going to be talking about the discovery of an eyeball planet because it looks like an eyeball. And we're going to be this is kind of a continuation of another topic that we did in a separate episode.
Mhm.
But we're going to be talking about Gen Z yearning for a pre-dating world. So that's what we're going to be talking about.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
All right, let's
Let me
get
pull
to it.
my notes up and let's start. So, ninjas, air fryers. Okay.
Hmm.
So, in the past few years, as I think we all know, air fryers have become a kitchen staple for many of us.
Yeah.
It was
Best
first,
machine. Best machine ever created.
we don't have the typical air fryer in my house
Hmm.
because it can, the toxins
Hmm.
that is in there that makes it nonstick
Hmm.
is poisonous to birds. So we can't have anything fun in my house. But we do have like the toaster ovens that can
Right.
also be,
Right.
we got that because that's fine.
Mm.
So first introduced in 2010, these compact devices work similarly to convection ovens circulating hot air to cook the food. While these devices have proven popular, they are not without issues. Quote, more than 3 million air fryers from various brands have since been recalled due to fire and burn hazards. This was reported by Celia Garzila of USA Today. She continued to say, of 259 air fryer incident reports reviewed by USA Today, about a fifth involved injuries resulting in first aid administration or
Hmm.
visits to the emergency room.
Hmm.
Great.
Mm. Wow.
Other issues have been alleged by internet users. For example, one user claimed that use of their air fryer made them sick. Now a user is claiming another issue with air fryers, and that is lead. So this is going to be kind of similar to the Stanley type situation in terms of how they're testing it. However, that's kind of been more confirmed, so we'll talk about that. So in a video with over 3.3 million views, TikTok user Kaylin Buzka, um,
Mhm.
if you're interested in finding her, she can be found at Kaylin with a C, uh, Buzka, Bouska, shows an air fryer made by the company Ninja. According to Buzka, her son was recently tested for lead and was found to have higher levels of lead in him than normal. That doesn't necessarily mean it came from the Ninja, though. I'm just going to
Mm.
put that out there because kids are stupid and will put pencils and pens in their mouth. I've seen it as a child.
Mhm.
Um, so while she didn't know where the lead could have been coming from, she soon discovered what she believed to be the culprit, an air fryer that she claimed to use to cook his lunch every day. Also, before I continue with this article, we talked about this actually with the veggie
Yeah.
snack things. Lead is something that can, or any really heavy metal, can be found just in nature. So that could be found in anything you're
Right.
putting in your Ninja, in
Yeah.
your air fryer.
Yeah.
So again, doesn't necessarily have to be the air fryer itself.
Right.
So quote, I thought it was coming from my water, but no, it's coming from this air fryer right here. She then shows a swab, presumably for a lead test strip, After running the swab along the base of the air fryer, it turned red, which means it's positive. Um, Regardless of whether the air fryer contains lead, the Daily Dot could not confirm this, though we have the USA Today has reached out to Ninja for clarification and comment. It's uncertain whether the presence of lead in that area would be an issue for eaters. First, that portion of the air fryer does not come in contact with food, so that all takes away my theory that it could also be coming from the food. Um, Air fryers employ a removable tray where the cooking takes place, so the presence of lead in other portions of the air fryer might not affect the food being cooked. Second, several commenters noted that they did not experience similar issues with the same air fryer. Quote, I have the same air fryer, just tested mine and it came out negative. Another said, I have this air fryer. My daughter has autism and blood disorder. Her levels are tested frequently and her levels are normal. In the comment section, many users offered their concerns about consumer safety in everyday products, saying, quote, y'all, when I say I'm so overwhelmed trying to avoid being poisoned by literally everything, whoa, one commenter. Another said, with Chevron overturned, that's the chemical that we can't use in my house. I fear this will get worse. Use stainless steel everything, stated another, with others suggesting air fryers made out of glass. Didn't know that existed. The Daily Dot reached out to Shark Ninja via email and Booska via a TikTok comment. I don't think they necessarily came back with anything on that. So that's that. I mean, take that with a grain of salt. It could be that particular air fryer or it could be the food or something. But if you fear your air fryer might be contaminated with something, like a lead or another heavy metal, just, I don't know, take caution, do what you gotta do to protect you and your family. So let's go to the next topic, and this is the eyeball planet. So, the James Webb Space Telescope has found that a distant world discovered several years ago could be an eyeball planet with an iris-like ocean surrounded by a sea of solid ice, making it a candidate for a potentially habitable world. The exoplanet, which I'm not going to say what it's called, was first discovered in 2017. Initially, it was thought to be a mini Neptune swirling with a dense mixture of water, methane, and ammonia. But the new findings accepted for publication, um, uh, publication in the Astrophysical Journal Letters and available on the preprint server, airs whatever, suggest that the planet is icier and wetter than scientists thought. That means it could support life. So that would be good to know, I guess, in case we need to get away from Earth. It's located 50 light years from Earth. It's roughly 1.73 times wider than our planet and 5.6 times its mass. It is tidally locked to its host star. This means it rotates at the same rate as it orbits its star, keeping its 2,500-mile melted eye fixed on the cosmic fire. Bound on a close orbit with its star, 1 year for the planet is just under 25 Earth days. So every month is a year for this planet, basically.
Oh wow.
I know, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Um, so if this planet's star were a main sequence star like the sun, an
Mhm.
orbit of the distance would boil its oceans and make it completely unhabitable. But because it is a cooler red dwarf, this short distance places the planet right in the middle of the Goldilocks zone, which
Right.
apparently is the perfect distance from its star for liquid water to exist on the planet, which would give us, if we had to live there, water source To study the exoplanet, the researchers use the telescope that they used to see it in the first place, near-infrared imager, and slitless spectrograph, which enables the telescope to assess the planet's contents as light from its star passes through the planet's hypothetical atmosphere to reach Earth. So by looking at the wavelengths of light absorbed, the astronomers spotted signs of nitrogen, which is a key ingredient in Earth's atmosphere, another sign that we could live here. Separate calculations also revealed that the planet isn't dense enough to be made of rock, which I guess our planet technically isn't made of rock either. So there we go. There's another reason. Taken together, these results seem to rule out a rocky or mini Neptune world in favor of one encased in an icy sea. While most of the planet could be frozen solid, the researchers noted that the iris side could reach 68 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 20 degrees Celsius, on its surface. So not bad. It's not bad at all. Warm enough to create a habitable pool for marine life on the frozen world. Another reason why we can live there. Detecting an Earth-like atmosphere on a temperature planet is pushing Webb's capabilities to its limits. It's feasible. We just need lots of observing time. And this was said by co-author Renee Doyen, who is a physicist at the University of Montreal, said in a statement. The current hint of nitrogen-rich atmosphere begs for confirmation with more data. We need at least one more year of observations to confirm that the planet has an atmosphere and likely 2 or 3 more to detect carbon dioxide, which is another thing we would need to have. But hey, if anything goes wrong, you can live there
Mm.
or Mars, whichever, whichever. So that's that topic. So the last topic, which is our Gen Zers yearning for a traditional dating world or old school dating world.
Right.
So we're going to be talking a little bit about Sex and the City. In season 2 of Sex and the City, Miranda, which is the really sexual one, I believe. Sorry, guys. I don't remember everybody's names. One of the main characters having sex in the city gets asked out in an elevator. The man who asks her out is a recently divorced dad with an annoying son. Things end poorly, but the episode made Cheyenne, who is a 23-year-old Californian and part of the Gen Z wave repopularizing the show, feel envious. She said, quote, I wish I lived in New York during that time. Apparently, why? Apparently, New York is horrific for dating. It's not like Sex and the City.
So the main characters are Carrie, Samantha, and Charlotte.
Yeah, and well, you missed one. Miranda is the other one.
Miranda?
Yes, Miranda, Samantha, you're
Yes,
thinking of the.
Miranda. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which one is Miranda, though? Miranda, so no, Samantha's the really sexual one. Miranda, I
One.
think, is the redhead one.
Yeah, the one with the short hair.
Okay, yeah, that's who that is. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
not the really sexual one.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, so Cheyenne, our 23-year-old, she says, quote, yeah, I wish I lived in New York during that time. Um, when people ask each other out in person, I guess people just didn't have social media. So if you saw someone you thought was attractive, you just had to say something.
Hmm.
Very true.
Yeah.
Much of dating today starts on our phones. In
Yes.
the Yes. Well, you would know. I haven't
Hmm.
dated in years.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But in my past, yes, it started with the phone. In the past decade, online dating has eclipsed other ways of meeting romantic partners. In the US, 3 in 10 adults have used a dating app, according to the Pew Research Center. In 2022, 45% of Americans who were single and dating used online dating platforms. In the UK, 11% of online adults visited an online dating service in May 2023, according to a report from Ofcom. And yet, like Cheyenne, many seem to be pining for the pre-dating app era. There have been countless articles, essays, and teary viral posts about dating app fatigue. The complaints are legion. There are too many bots. swindlers and
Mhm.
harassers.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like there have been documentaries about all of that. Um, People don't look like their pictures,
Yeah.
can't carry on a conversation,
Mhm.
or they ghost you. Users argue that popular profiles are effectively paywalled and that the abstracting effect of a screen encourages bad
Mhm.
behavior and unrealistic expectations. Why waste time getting to know someone who is fine when someone perfect might be mere swipes away? So there's a growing appetite for alternative modes of dating. Speed dating is making a comeback. The apps themselves are offering opportunities for users to meet in real life. And then there's the more expeditious way of meeting, seeing a person you think looks cool and asking them out. But after years of digital courtship, how do people really feel about asking out another human face to face?
So there's compared to the what was before social media, before the
Mhm,
internet,
mhm,
you can do that. You can go if you see someone that you like
mhm,
and see someone that you have an attraction to, you can go up to that person and say, "Well, you look great. Hi,
mhm,
how are you? What's up? You
mhm,
look great today.
mhm,
Do you mind me, you know,
mhm,
asking you out for a date?"
mhm,
And you most likely gonna get a yes or a no.
mhm,
Uh, and depending on how that person feels, you're gonna get a yes, you're gonna get a no.
mhm.
But nowadays, it's you're gonna get pepper sprayed, or you're gonna be called a creep, or you're gonna be called, or you're gonna get the police called on you. So
Mhm.
like,
And that is what's actually gonna be mentioned in this
yeah,
article when we get to
yeah,
it too,
yeah,
is
yeah,
that is kind of something that they say. I can say, like, for me, like, I think, like,
yeah,
I was still a part of the era where you had dating apps or you
mhm,
had different websites that you would use as that app, you know what I mean?
mm, mm, mm,
Our time, we had Vibe, TO, you had
yeah,
Pegged was another one. You had stuff like that. Like, you had separate
yeah,
websites where
yeah,
you
yeah,
could go to and you could use those.
yeah,
Um, but today, yes, you have social media,
mhm,
that, has their own dating side. Facebook has their own dating side of
yeah,
things. Um, and then, yeah, there's just so many different apps now.
yeah,
The half of them, I'm like, what the hell is that? Because I haven't heard of it either. Like
mhm,
Hinge, I think I just learned that like maybe a
yeah,
year
yeah,
ago because I'm like, what
yeah,
the hell is Hinge? Like, there's so many different things now. But you're right. Like, I remember, now that mind you, I was in a relationship when this happened, but I remember being on the phone with a friend of mine. We're meeting up for lunch. This guy comes up to me out of nowhere and just starts like talking to me. He was interested or whatever. And in the moment, you're like, okay, yeah, that's really sweet, whatever, fine, cool. But at the same time, I'm just like, I get weirded out by that. I get creeped out by it because it's
yeah,
not because I think there's anything wrong with you
yeah.
necessarily.
Because
Um,
it's not normal
right. And I think
to
I'm
this
also
day.
just
Yeah, and
comfortable.
it's not. Yeah,
I'm comfortable
it's not.
talking or getting to know somebody
Yeah, yeah,
over a screen first
yeah,
before meeting them. Now, that's just
yeah,
me because I am shy when I meet someone for
yeah,
the first
yeah,
time.
yeah,
I need to warm up to you, but
yeah.
it's like that's maybe for me, that's where that comes from.
And also, you probably feel like it's not the time and place right now to.
Right, I'm literally on the
Yeah,
phone,
yeah,
standing outside,
yeah,
waiting for my friend. And yes, I was, like I mentioned, in a relationship at this point. Like, I was just recently in my relationship with my ex-husband.
yeah,
I was like, "This is weird," you know?
hmm,
Um, but he shot his shot, so I'll give him that.
yeah,
Um, but I think, again, like, if someone were to do that,
mhm,
I as much as you kind of are like, "Yeah, that'd be really great," I think it'd just be weird. And I think that, again, that's just the times that we're in, where this is normal to date like this.
Mhm.
But for someone who's like of our parents' generation, they don't get that. That's not normal to date someone over an app, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, they don't look. They a lot of the old generations look at it like, oh, you could meet a creep, you could meet a someone that's hacking your computer, or someone
Right.
that's catfishing you, or
But that's hilarious
yeah,
because that is how they think about people
yeah,
online.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then look how we think of people who approach us in person. We think
exactly.
they're creeps
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
gonna like, I think they're gonna kidnap me or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what they say. Yeah, that's what they think about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so on dating advice forums, some users express discomfort at being asked out in person, as we were just saying. Some fret that Gen Z has forgotten how to flirt. Um, I'm just gonna say this right now. It's not just Gen Zs. And I think also just not just flirting, because people it could be awkward to flirt, you know what I mean? But I think also just being comfortable talking to the opposite sex or just anyone that you're interested in, whether that's the opposite sex or not. But I'm just speaking from my perspective. I've been with men who didn't feel comfortable talking to me or didn't know how to talk to me because they're straight, whatever. They are not inexperienced in that sense,
Mhm.
but they're just don't know how to talk to a woman.
That
Um,
too, and you don't know what the age of the woman too. Yeah, you could be talking to someone that's like like that's extremely young, and you're just like,
well, not even
yeah,
just that. It's just like this is in the
yeah,
sense of like just
or
having the
older.
comfort level to
Yeah, that
talk
too.
to a
Yeah,
woman
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
general.
yeah, that too.
Um, because like whether they are intimidated by women or
Hmm.
whatever it
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
I've had that in relationships where I'm just like, the hell. And
Yeah.
it's not even from my perspective, it's like, just talk to me like a human. Like, yeah, sure, we have an intimate relationship or whatever,
Uh,
but it's
uh.
like, you can just talk to me like a human. But sometimes, like, they just can't do that either. Um,
So you're talking about face to face,
yeah,
like
just face to
person
face conversation.
when a person comes up to you and
Yeah, that,
when,
or just even when once you're in that relationship as well, or in the beginning stages of that relationship, um, when you're
yeah.
kind of in the courting stage,
Mm.
um, yes, I've been in situations like that where the man does not know how to keep a conversation going, or doesn't know how to talk to a woman. That's what I've literally been told, and I was just like,
Yeah, that's
just carry a conversation like that. To me,
yeah.
like what?
Yeah, a lot of us men, tend to
Don't want
stare.
to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, don't want to
Yeah.
say the wrong thing.
He
But a
said a
lot of
lot
us,
of wrong things though, so
yeah, 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 yeah. I do
I'm
say,
sure if I said his name, you might remember who I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah,
But
uh,
I could probably just
yeah,
take it out too, but doesn't
yeah,
matter. Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
we do say a lot of like the wrong things, and sometimes
yeah,
we stir towards laziness, such as like
yeah.
we talk about sexual activities as well. That's
Which
the
again,
lazy approach at the first
yeah,
date. Like,
yeah.
but some women are interested in that, but there's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
women
what
who
I
are
was
just
gonna say.
a lot of women who are just interested into
Having a
relationship
conversation.
long term. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. No, I
conversation.
think there should be
Yeah,
again, every woman
yeah,
is different.
yeah,
Just from I can only speak on myself.
yeah.
I want to have like just a normal ass conversation, getting to know each other kind of situation. But I'm also spicy, so I want to talk about like stuff like that as well. Um,
Hmm.
there's no right or wrong way of having a conversation, but again, like just from what I've been told by men over the years is that I am pretty laid back. So for me, that's just me. 'Cause everyone's different.
Hmm.
Where I am not gonna hold things against you, whatever it is you talk about or want to talk about or whatever.
Hmm.
But I need that happy medium.
Hmm.
But If it's constantly about that, constantly about sex, then I'm just like, okay, so that's clearly your motivation. Um, so like this isn't gonna go anywhere.
Mhm.
And I've had instances of that as well. People that I've known for years, decade, really and truly, who are like, I'm interested in you. I wanna like be the next guy, quote unquote, is what they would say. But then all they talk about is sex. And I'm like, okay, so clearly the relationship or whatever this is that has been going like this is all this is. So if you want something more, you got to talk about other things.
Mhm.
It's important. Otherwise, there's nothing here. So that's what I mean by happy medium, and that's just for me. Um, so where was I? Okay, so others worry about coming off creepy if they approach someone, which I think Mikel kind of alluded to as well. Um, Even Cheyenne, our girl from earlier, um, says that she would be quote unquote weirded out if someone asked her out in person. So she wants this Sex in the City type experience
Mhm.
where there is no social media and someone just approaches you in an elevator, but she would be weirded out by that. So which is it?
Mhm.
She said, quote, I would probably say no because it's so uncommon. Again, the divide seems partly generational.
Mhm.
In this person's who did this article, in their opinion, or their informal survey that they did, texting people and bringing up this topic at parties, they found that millennials were more excited about meeting in person. Because I think, again, with millennials, especially depending on the year you're born, you're a little more comfortable with maybe meeting someone in person.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't be opposed to it either. I think for me, people approaching me, or when I have been approached in person, it's more about my anxiety levels and my comfort levels as a person, not because I'm opposed to it, but
Mhm.
more of like my brain literally is like, no, we're not doing this. Like, we're not comfortable. Um, so Claire, which is a pseudonym, by the way, not her real name, said she asked a guy out about a month ago and that it felt great to do that.
Mhm.
She said, quote, it was a delight to go on a date and not be surprised by what somebody looks like or how it feels to physically be in their presence. She added that she will never go back to the apps no matter how this shakes out. Christiana, she's 29, said she's met the last three people she's dated in person. One was at a house party, another at a concert, another at a
Mhm.
queer line dancing event. So that's fun. Several men in their 30s said they barely use the apps and primarily meet people in person. That's interesting.
Mhm.
Gen Z, meanwhile, seems more oblivious about the face to face approach, mostly because it's no longer the norm.
Mhm.
Precious, who is a baby, she's only 20, says she would like to be asked out, but agrees that it's just not common, saying, quote, I feel like a lot of people have lost the skill to talk to people in real life, as I literally just said a few minutes ago.
Mhm.
Precious also has concerns about personal safety, saying, quote, I see a lot of crazy shit on social media. She watches true crime documentaries.
Mhm.
I understand her.
Mhm.
They also say approaching someone from behind a screen feels less daunting, as I said. For the most part, Cheyenne says her peers find ways to talk online first. Quote, usually when people meet each other, they'll ask for their Instagram or number. I think Snapchat is a bit outdated now. Didn't actually think people still use Snapchat, but that used to be more popular.
Mhm.
Thanks for making me feel old by saying that.
Mhm.
Precious says that she has asked out someone in person, but it was someone she already knew and who had already expressed interest in her. So when you have that kind of, I think, especially as women, when you kind of have that, like, okay, I know this person, oh, and I know they have interest in me, so I feel comfortable asking that person out. I think you kind of need to have that background. Um, I could do that. I could do that. But yeah, is that cheating? I don't know.
Mm.
Um, that that our phones have atrophied our social muscles to some degree is no great shock. But Dr. Michael Rosenfeld, a professor of sociology at Stanford University, says there is a much bigger issue at play. We are in a dating recession. According to Rosenfeld's data, there are roughly 60 million single adults in the US today. That is just in the States. Um,
Wonder what the data in Canada is.
I'd be interested. Which was apparently up from 47 million in 2017. Yet, he says, quote, all ways of dating are down. This includes online dating as well as meeting at bars and restaurants. I wonder if COVID played a part in that, or through family or friends. He attributes much of this romantic recession to the pandemic. I just said that, which created new and scary barriers to dating and stripped
Mm.
away the blitheness and excitement necessary to make dating fun. Saying,
Really?
quote,
The pandemic?
yeah, absolutely, because you weren't allowed to go into a bar. You weren't allowed to go to a club or do other social events. You were supposed to stay
Right.
6 feet away from each other.
Right,
Yeah.
right. True. Oh yeah,
Um,
that's right. Yeah, okay. I see
yeah,
that.
I know it was only 5 years ago. It was 5 years
Yeah,
ago. Think
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. A while ago.
I was thinking about after the pandemic, like after that,
Yeah.
and like 2 years or 3 years after that, because it was no,
Yeah.
it got normal from then. But yeah,
Yeah, but I
that makes
think also
sense.
because of the pandemic and the fact that we were told we have to stay home,
Hmm.
going back to being in public with people, being able to get close to those people
Hmm.
again,
Hmm.
it's taken some time, I think, for people to get comfortable with the idea of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I
I
think,
would, I
yeah, it's
would
taken
think,
a little
I,
time.
I would think a year would be good.
Maybe, but you're also going to take into effect the people who maybe have anxiety or are, are socially awkward, people who are shy, and people who were home by themselves during that time, and they're just not having the same interactions like they were before the pandemic. Um, Really and truly, the pandemic really took a toll on people, in all facets of life. So I wouldn't be surprised that it could take a while for people to bounce back from that. And some of these people who are Gen Zers, they were in online schooling for 2, 3 years
Hmm.
because of the pandemic. So they're during the time where it's important to be interacting with people, they're not getting that. So I think, yeah, it takes time.
Mm. Yeah,
Um,
you're right.
what could be more damaging to people's dating and relationship prospects than a fear that any kind of physical intimacy, even just talking to another person face to face, could kill you or your grandma? Jesus Christ. But that's the thing. Like, me and my boyfriend would joke about it, but really and truly it's true. I
Hmm.
mean, you could get COVID from sex. Scary. Sucks.
Hmm. Hmm.
Really. Like, if you're not protecting yourself. If you're
I
protecting yourself, you
remember,
should be fine.
I kind of remember there was kind of a doctor that said, uh, if you're having sex,
Mhm.
make sure it's like, I think, uh, like, 1 feet away from,
How? How?
I don't know if it was
Has
like,
he not had sex recently?
yeah, I think it
Seems
was something like
impossible.
that. Let's see.
But that's the thing. If someone had COVID and you're and you don't know, you're asymptomatic, for example, you have COVID, you're having sex, and let's say you're having it unprotected, that person could, especially from men, let's say, they could pass COVID through their sperm. Like that was a rumor. I don't know if that's accurate, but that was a rumor at one point. I
Yeah.
don't. again, don't know if it's true, but again, if you're in a relationship with somebody,
Yeah,
usually it doesn't stop with just insertion.
yeah,
There's
yeah. And
the
I think it was.
before insertion.
Oh, I think it was like mentally use a mask.
Again, who's doing
Yeah.
that?
Well, you're right.
Who's
I think
doing
it
it?
was so stupid stuff that some doctor said. I remember something like that. Some doctor said something like that.
I mean, maybe you could avoid like passing stuff between each
Yeah,
other
yeah, yeah,
from mouth to mouth,
yeah, yeah,
depending on the position that you're
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
Y'all can use your imagination.
yeah.
But again, again, I feel like those doctors never had sex before because doesn't seem possible to like be a foot apart. What? Okay,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna try and figure that out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, he believes that many people are still recovering from having lost 2 or 3 years of dating experience, which has been especially hard on adolescents and young adults. It's going to take them a few years to recover and build up that social experience they need to be comfortable dating and experiencing. What is the way out of this dating recession then? Is it asking people out in person, more apps, matchmakers, speed dating, spells? That's funny.
Mhm.
Um, he says, I think we have to rely on the friskiness of young people to relight the fire and do what they're best at, which is to hang out and have fun. So
Mhm.
I guess we'll see. I mean, I
Mhm.
won't see
Mhm.
because I'm in a relationship. So this doesn't pertain to me at the moment. But, you know, whoever out there dating, just have fun with it, I guess. And if the person
Mhm.
doesn't seem real or doesn't seem to want to take things to the next level, if you're solely talking on an app,
Mhm.
um, as Ariana Grande said, thank you, next.
Mhm.
And that's that. That's it for me.
All right. So I do have another bonus.
Oh, okay.
So I know you don't typically follow sports,
Nope. Nope, I don't.
Tanika. But you do follow this person. You have heard of this person. This person has been with a musician as well, a Toronto musician.
Okay.
So Serena Williams
Okay.
has taken ownership stake in the Toronto WNBA team.
Oh, wow.
So the Toronto WNBA team is called the Toronto Temple, and they're going to be start playing around 2026,
Mm.
and that'll be somewhere in May in the summer. So she if you don't know who Serena Williams is,
Oh, wow.
basically she is a tennis legend in
Who
the
played
world of
alongside her
sports.
sister,
Yeah, yeah,
Venus Williams? Yeah.
Venus. And if you don't know the movie, if you haven't watched the movie, if you remember, Will Smith played the uncle. Is it the uncle or the
Father. Their
father? The
father.
father, yeah, their father.
Yeah.
Um, and it was called Richard, I believe.
King
The uncle
Richard.
and Richard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard it was a great movie.
I did too. I didn't see
Yeah.
it, but I heard it was
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it was good. It was really good. I heard it was really good. But she recently purchased stake into the Toronto Temple team, and yeah, the article says March 3rd, 2025. Well, as we're recording right now, uh, Serena Williams, one of the world's most celebrated athletes, will be a new owner of the Temple team announced today. Okay, so Williams So Serena Williams joins the team ownership group alongside Larry Tannenbaum, chairman of Kilmer Sports Venture. So basically, Larry Tannenbaum used to be the also former Toronto Raptor owner.
Mhm.
Um, Serena Williams said, "I am thrilled to announce my ownership role in the first Canadian WNBA team, the Toronto Temple," said Serena Williams. "This moment is not just about basketball, it is about showcasing the true value of potential of female athletes. I have always said that women's sports are an incredible investment opportunity. I am excited to partner with Larry and all of Canada in creating this new WNBA franchise and legacy." So it's been a while since, or it's been like a couple years that um Serena Williams have been, looking into investing into a WNBA team. I know that she was trying to do research with her husband to, carefully understand it because, like, if as you heard, the WNBA is on the rise right now, but before that, it wasn't doing too well. So like she was being careful the last like probably like few months, and then I think she overheard um the Toronto Temple, or Toronto was getting the team. So she probably looked into that with her husband. If you remember, her husband used to be I think he used to be an owner in Reddit.
Oh,
Yeah. Uh and he's also like invest in other things. So like she's also got her own thing going too. She's not just an owner into uh just this team. She's into NFL. She's into I think she's into soccer teams as well. She's also in a lot of sport ventures. So like she has other investments in a lot of sport ventures. So like yeah, this is a great thing for, Toronto sports. Hopefully this team will succeed. I'll be watching this team when it debuts next year. And I was excited when they announced it last year. So like it was pretty cool. So um yeah, this is pretty cool that a American is investing into our a Canadian team. So yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
that's good.
uh, yeah. All right. So that's basically. You want to say anything else, Tanika, or just or
Um,
add to it, or no?
no, I think that's it. I'll just say something at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Okay. So this ends episode 83 of the Next Tape podcast. The Next Tape podcast is available now on all podcast platforms. We also have a website called Tanika.
Next take podcast.hotpage.io. Link in the no show notes.
And where else are we at?
Facebook and Instagram and Next Take Podcast and Twitter and TikTok and Next Take Pod.
And you can contact us in our email at mikeltanika@gmail.com. And that's mikeltanika@gmail.com. So, yeah, we talked about a lot of things, including our bonus topic. You, what did we talk about again, Tanika? You went on to tell the
So
people?
yeah, we talked about lead in Ninja air
Yeah,
fryers,
yeah.
the discovery of an eyeball planet,
Mhm.
and we talked about Gen Z yearning for the pre-dating world or
Okay.
pre-dating app world, I should say.
Yeah. And then we just had a bonus talking about Serena Williams investing into a WNBA team in Toronto called Toronto Temple. Uh yeah. Um yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You have anything else to say, Tanika?
So
You know you
again,
want to say something?
we are in our Women's History Month
Yeah. Yeah.
this month. So we do have another episode coming on Thursday, and we're going to be talking about the first female prime ministers of Canada and the UK. So that's what we're going to be talking about.
All right. So I'm Mikel, and
And I'm Tanyka.
we're out until.
We're going to say Wednesday.
All right,
With a bonus.
Wednesday it is with a
Okay.
bonus. All right, peace, guys.
Bye.